Hi all, I am recording this video not within the four walls of my home, but in New Zealand, where I have lived for many years, but no longer. I am here though at the moment, and I wanted to share a book with you by Iona Winter called A Counter of Moons. She and I knew each other when we worked on my poetry for the Otago Daily Times. She was the editor. She has just released this beautiful and heartbreaking book about the suicide death of her one child, her only son, Ruben. I wanted to share this with you because it is such a moving book. I wept throughout, but also because it is a unique book with a unique voice. Iona comes from a Maori background, and here in New Zealand, they have a very, very rich tradition about death and around death. And very sadly, those traditions, those rituals were interrupted and disrupted because her son died during the COVID pandemic. But she sprinkles throughout her book, Te Reo Maori, the words from her language that she says English really is an inadequate language to deal with the topic of grief. But she does talk about the pain and the anguish of suicide loss, the rush that she felt to get over it, the pressure she felt, the isolation, as well as the disbelief and the rage and the empathy that she feels for her beautiful son. She also, paints this really beautiful, poignant picture of his sensitive soul, but very, very authentically goes to the heart of some of the questions that she has. Why was my love not enough as a mother? And what pushed him over the edge? This is a universal question that survivors of suicide loss ask themselves. She asked, because her son was a musician, a question that I asked about my brother. Was music playing when he left? So she openly wrestles with those questions, and with the question that got me involved in speaking up about suicide loss and my concern for suicide loss survivors and the exponential risk that they are at risk of dying by suicide themselves, because she says, that is the question, to live or not live. And this is a question she asks herself routinely, and she has chosen to live, and she has chosen to write this beautiful book about pain that she describes like shards of glass penetrating your souls, which she spells S-O-L-E-S, but of course S-O-U-L-S works so well. And her message about grief is, do not be afraid of it. Do not disconnect from the emotions. Do not disconnect from the grievers themselves. Grief is sacred, she says, and honor that call back to the open wound, because you will grow and deepen your connection to one another through that. She also mentions a Zen poem, and I'm going to end on that. It says, beneath anger, grief, beneath grief, love, and beyond that, clear blue sky. I thought that was appropriate given the backdrop. Enjoy this book if you can get it. I will put information in the comments.